Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on where you are. This is a JGP artwork tutorial teaching you how to use Affinity Designer shortcuts. It's one of my first times using this app, so it's going to be quite brief, but I'll walk you through the shortcuts that I've learned so far. Okay, so I'll start off by opening the app. It takes a little while to load. And then I select the artwork I previously made in the previous tutorial. You can follow the previous tutorial to see how I colored the image. So it automatically brings you up to a panel while selecting a new document and go on A4. And what I've done is I've got the document which I previously created and dragged it into the file space. Start off with, you select the image and press 1 to 9 to 0. You can change the opacity of the image, go in increments of 10. So it goes 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 90, 100. And then W to toggle, which is backspace on the far left of your keyboard, to change the artboard to just image version. Then W to bring up the stroke width tool. R to vector flood. Which is the paint bucket tool, as you can see on the grid. T to bring up the text tool. It scales the text depending on how big you make the box, so it will stretch the letters. However, if you just type the letters in normally, they will come up at the right size. You can always change the point ratio and the font, just like in Illustrator, InDesign, or Photoshop. Sorry to mention the competitors. And Y to bring up the transparency tool. You can use it to create like a gradient effect of your image. Select or highlight a part of the shape you like and press I on the keyboard to bring up the color picker tool. P to bring up the pen tool, and then O to change the width of it, sort of like the width to an Illustrator. B to bring up the brush to draw any shapes or lines you want. These come out as vector layers, so you can use it to image trace. If you have a Wacom, you can connect that to your computer, use something like Duet, and then vector trace your image. And then backspace and front space to change the stroke of the width of the brush. Just like the pen tool Illustrator, you can use it to create lines, and an A to bring up the anchor point selection tool, the node tool they call it this, to change the nodes. S to bring up the shape builder tool. If you highlight the shape builder tool, it brings you up to other shapes. One thing I haven't worked out yet is if they have a minus front and there and like a divide and things like that. But that's something I'll get round to later on when I learn the software a bit more. D to set the colours back to black and white. G to bring up the gradient tool. You can create gradiented lines. This would work well on if you use the pen tool to create a shape and then want to create a gradient around it. So far it's not a bad software, it's actually pretty good, but like it's still missing a lot of features that they can improve upon, but I think that'll come in later stages. And one thing I've learned is that I currently don't know how to create different file documents, so like PDFs or JPEGs or PNG within the software, but I think that's something that they might later integrate within the software that saves its own file format, which is like a bit difficult to convert or print, so I screenshot and then print from there. So you might lose some picture quality if you're going to blow up to a large scale, but like yeah, if you're just in digital work, I think it's pretty adequate. And then B to bring up the brush tool, select it, gradient tool, just mess around with the gradient and fills, learn how to do this. Select the nodes on either side and you can adjust the gradient. H to bring up the hand tool or space bar, and you can bring the image up and down with the canvas, to be honest. K to bring up the knife tool to cut between pixels if you're doing a pen tool or like if you have a vector image. Command plus to zoom in, or Z to zoom in. X to toggle activity. C to bring up corners. V to move. B to bring up the vector brush. Now zoom in, you can see the difference between the vector image and zoom out and pixelate image. The vector brush works as like a sort of like a scanner. It just scans the image and vectorizes it for you, which is like a lot quicker than Illustrator. I don't know how it varies with like more complicated documents, which is something I need to like see in the future. And there you have it, a tutorial teaching you how to use Affinity Designer. And hopefully you enjoy this and you take it further, or purchase it or learn from it. Hopefully there should be more tutorials coming in the future. If you want me to teach you on what I'm learning at the moment or what I learn, I'd much appreciate if you follow or subscribe to the channel or me on any of my social media. Thank you, bye.